My path was kind of set to just become a professor at some university for a while. But then during my PhD, one of the things that was actually intriguing, I got a class in entrepreneurship, and that was like really interesting. But I was already in half of my PhD, so I did start Wakecap at that time with a totally different purpose. And the whole entrepreneurship excitement got me over the academia. I got the opportunity to join a TV edutainment kind of a program called Stars of Science. And when I joined, it was more about basically bringing an idea to life and commercializing the idea. So I basically came up with the idea of measuring drowsiness, which is based on my PhD research, and how we can actually monitor drowsiness using the brain signals for different applications.
Wow.
So the application I decided for was like construction. And we spent like about 6 months to a year really kind of digging into the construction and trying to understand what's really happening there. Would they be interested in such an application? When I looked at this, it was like more about an opportunity than anything else. And all this experience led me into the whole entrepreneurship and the challenges. It's always funny that as engineers, we have a lot of friends from the business school, and we always undermine what they do. Was like, we do the real stuff, you guys just do the talking and stuff. Get into the business, it was like really the real deal. It is as hard as engineering from a different level. I remember when I finished my first product that was measuring the drowsiness, and we spent so much time and effort on it, and I realized this won't work. Basically, people won't buy this product because they don't believe the pain exists. And we had to really think the whole problem differently, because we came up with a solution looking for a problem instead of really researching the problem. And when I kind of had a really great understanding compared to when I started the problem, I really found like, there is an approach to solve such a pain, and there is an opportunity. But then, due to political changes, I had to leave the country I was in, which is Qatar. So I left Qatar thinking that everything is going to disappear, because I had my path set in Qatar to really kind of raise the next round and start really building Wakecap from there. I really didn't know where to go at that time. I ended up deciding just to go to Dubai, thinking, okay, if it's not going to work in Dubai, it's not going to work anywhere else. So I went there looking for investors. I have the new venture problem solution, all of that very clear. But nobody invested. It was mid 2017 when I had like 3 things going all at once. I really kind of set my mind to really start Wakecap, but there was no investor. The second thing, I just got a new baby born in Saudi. And it was like also another challenge to really deal with. And then the third was, I was actually doing my PhD during this time. That time I was in Carnegie-Mellon, and my professor out of nowhere decided to go to Duke. I was like, come on, man, we're almost done there. What are you doing now? And your PhD professor is basically your everything.
Yes.
It was like really, really tough, yeah. This is when I started like really thinking out of the box in a way, and looking, for example, for VC who invest in hardware. I started really looking into the problem of like, why would somebody want to invest in such a company? And it turns out investing in hardware is a very high risk. People want to invest in building things because it's comes with a high cost, and a mistake there would cost way much more than editing a code. That actually allowed me to really kind of start thinking of the whole world of like who actually invests in hardware and all of that. And that led me to go to China to VC called Hacks. It's like Y Combinator, but for hardware. Getting accepted to Hacks was not easy, but worth the effort. I traveled to China twice, I traveled to the US twice just to get accepted to Hacks, but they really appreciated that the seriousness that we have put into this. And this is where we actually revived Wakecap again. Being an entrepreneur, I think, is almost like a sine wave. It will always go up and down. And one of the interesting kind of advices that we got from one of our investors early on, we were in China. This guy came in and he said, look, he showed us the sine wave and said, here's basically the real life of entrepreneurship. This is how your startup going to be. You're going to be like so hyped up because you had made a sale and you think you own the world. One day, another day, basically you got problem, maybe somebody dies using your product and you're like almost bankrupt. All of these will happen. What you need to be a straight line emotionally. Don't get overexcited. Don't get too dark and follow the sine wave. You have to really learn how to become a straight line, and it's not going to be easy. So that was like one of the lessons I always think about in all those kind of up and down. We learned so many things during this, just basically how we were thinking about the investor. We have to really kind of give them everything they want to make a decision. To the point is like, no, you have to select your investor. Realizing that for me was really kind of enlightening, because I used to get a meeting with an investor, answer all their questions, tell them everything just to basically get their kind of blessing to decide to invest. And it turns out they don't work that way. Literally, you have to present yourself as an opportunity, which you are. It's just basically presenting it. And realizing that was like basically change the whole narrative of setting with investor. First, I had to qualify the investor. Basically, I sit with him or her. I was like, I'm not going to talk about Wakecap much. I would really like to know about your investment. Where did you do it? Where? And start like basically flipping the table. I was like, why would they take your money? I mean, look, money is money, but you have to convince me that you're going to add a value other than money. And we started rejecting investors.
Wow,
like
really?
Saying, you're not going to add value to us as much as we would like it to be, because the same amount of money I can just take from someone else, but with additional strategic value, like maybe expanding our business in a new country or getting us to new deals, and all of that will definitely help us filter out all the noise and starting having a real serious discussion with the investor that they see the value in what we do, right, and also the value of what they bring. And that alone is really, really helpful. If you talk to the right investor, if your problem is real, he will get it and validate it immediately and start talking about the deal itself. So that was like really interesting kind of enlightenment that we had learned by trial and error. I think next chapter is basically going global, and this is going to be like very challenging. I mean, we started in Dubai and then we went to Saudi. We have also other projects in the US. There are like multiple paths to go global. And for us, this is going to be really exciting and really challenging as well. We start testing the water before we decide to really go full thrust there. This is where we are today. I mean, we are in an industry where the sales cycle is very long. Every culture is different. Every country is different in how they basically perceive the value we bring. So understanding this for us is the most important thing, so we can actually thrive in such cases. For me, is now the challenge is more like understanding the sales process, figuring out how to hire sales, managing the company at a different level. We hope that we can go through that safely. From the industry level, for us, it was kind of positive a bit, because what we do is we provide tracking devices for the construction industry. And we care a lot about privacy by only tracking people on the site, and our solution only works on the site. Although with such a concern about privacy, we used to have like a lot of challenges in bringing the value of monitoring us on the site. But with Corona, basically people started looking at us and like, okay, we have this problem where we need to basically provide contact tracing. Can you do that? I was like, oh yeah, of course, we can do that. We can help you with that. That got them like more excited to really learn more about the product. We started like basically getting people to use digital tools. Everybody's now knows Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and that actually helped us get to decision makers easily. Construction is usually always busy with day-to-day operations, but I think we're trying to give them the chance to start looking at digital solutions to help them with efficiencies, with improving productivity on the site. They started taking it like kind of seriously. From a company level, definitely started forcing us in a way to start working remotely. And we did take that step, and we noticed after a month or so that this can be done. We changed how we hire. So we used to hire people by actually position ourselves that we are in Dubai, you can come to Dubai and basically working with a great team. Now it's more about hiring people remotely and looking for a bigger pool of talents, and basically positioning yourself on the market to learn more about IoT and hardware. Hardware, we cannot do it remotely. We really have to hire in specific locations. Hiring and managing people remotely is, for me, it's totally new thing, and we'll see how this goes. But that's the effect that we had in the company. I definitely start with my parents. My wife has, they all have been like very helpful, understanding, but also at a professional level, there was the first founder we had, Ishita Sood. He is the first to join the Wakecap journey 3 years ago. I appreciate that the team, we had a great team that have been very helpful and understanding in really kind of get through this journey together. It's a new journey for all of us to go through that route that have never been taken before. Without a strong team who believes in what we can do, we won't be here today. I would definitely go back even more than 3 years if I had the choice. And I would have like started basically my entrepreneurship much earlier, because I would have had the chance to learn more from business, from building a network, and really understand the whole effect together. That said, I don't think this would change much of my path, honestly. I mean, it took a single course just to change my path from, academia to entrepreneurship. I'm not regretting anything I did before. Every experience we had is a learning experience, whether we like it or not. I think Jeff Bezos, the one who says every day is just a day one. Look at the world from that perspective and do your best every day, and good things should happen. That's what we have been kind of really living our lives with such culture.